Hi Seals, we're going to be taking a break from Lemon Tea Snicket's Unfortunate Events. We've got a new book on its way. We are going to be reading a series of short stories until it arrives, and the first one's going to be April Underhill Tooth Fairy, written by Bob Graham. April Underhill opened the door. A draft slipped through behind her and Esme, making the teeth on the rafters chatter and chime. John Underhill started to speak. "April!" "Don't say anything, Daddy," April said. "We're collecting a boy's tooth tonight and I have to write this down." "Tonight? April, you're only 7, said her dad. "And 3/4, April added. "I promised." "I'm going to," said Esme. "You and Esme, a tooth in Parkville," said their mum Faye. "Darlings, you're far too young." "You went by yourself when you were 6, Mummy," said Esme. She balanced a bubble on the end of her finger till it popped. "Same age as me, and April's even older." "Well, that was long ago," said Mum, "before the motorway came. Foxes still chased hares on the hill, and things were very different back then." "Well, some things haven't changed, Mummy." Esme took a sip of her dandelion soup. "Children still lose their first teeth," April said, "and ducklings still have to take their first swim." Their parents looked at them startled. "Okay," said Dad, "you can both go, but take great care of your little sister, April." "Yes! This is important, April," said Dad. "To Daniel, you are a spirit of the air. You are magic. He must never see you." "Magic? Me?" said April. Mum found a string bag. "For the coin going out and the tooth coming back," she said. "And send me a text if you need to," she added. Then they lifted off into the night. The wind took them and shook them and pushed and pulled them. It shivered down Esme's wings and rippled through the feathers of a passing owl. "There's Cornflower Terrace," shouted April. They dropped down through the dark, right onto the doorstep of Daniel's house. They peered underneath. April swallowed. "Hold down my wings, Esme. I'll go first." Esme crawled in after her. To the other side. "Where will his room be?" she whispered. "Up there, I think," replied April. "Let's follow the toys." "This must be him," whispered April. She pulled the note from her pocket. "We're at number 3 Cornflower Terrace. There's a dog, but no cat. And there's the tooth!" Esme shivered with excitement. April flew and Esme followed her. Together they pulled Daniel's eyes shut, like the blinds over windows. For a long time they dared not to breathe. "He's asleep again," April whispered. "But he saw us," Esme whispered. "I'll text Mummy," said April. "Whisper what?" Esme asked as they read her reply. "What Daddy told us, that we're spirits." "You do it, April," said Esme. "Me? I'm soaking." Look, can you see them in the eardrum of the boy's ear? But she leaned into the dark and whispered, "We're spirits of the air, Daniel. You dreamed us. You did not see us." "Goodbye, Daniel Dangerfield." They picked up the tooth and flew down the hall. "April, wait," called Esme. "It's the sweetest sight. I think it's the grandma." April waded waist-deep in Grandma's hair, then kissed her on the nose. "We did it, Grandma! Our very first tooth," she whispered. "No, Esme, we don't take those. We have to go." Can you see Esme trying to take Grandma's fake teeth there? They collected their coats, buttoned them tight, and slipped back through under the door. Daniel's front tooth swung in the bag as they cleared the chimney and headed for home. The wind tumbled them high over the city, up the motorway, and set them down. At their own front door, Mum and Dad hugged them until all their wings crackled. "Here's the tooth, Daddy, wrapped in my wet vest." "You die for it?" asked Faye. "Like a duckling in water," murmured John Underhill proudly. The girls drank hot elderberry juice and then were hugged some more. Mum hung Daniel's tooth from the rafters. "On Saturday, we'll take it to the fairy craft market for everyone to see," Dad promised. The sun rose and a blackbird sang outside the window, louder than the distant traffic, as April and Esme fell asleep. Daniel Dangerfield woke to find a coin gleaming by his bedside. A new tooth was already growing. What dreams he must have had. Look, can you see him with his grandma? Then it ends it with a little poem. Out on the motorway, a wild hare scampered across 6 lanes of traffic, past an old stump, a tiny house, and is up to time-worn tracks in the hill. Nose twitching, it looked over its shoulder for foxes, then far out on to the horizon. So I'll be reading a short series of these stories every day, and then we'll get our brand new class book, hopefully this week, depending on the delivery drivers. Hope you're all nice and safe and keeping well. And if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you. Bye.